Good morning, Stephen. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right, Peter. I'm all right. Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening. It's been I've been lucky. You're just out fresh out of bed and probably enjoying a green tea, and I've been working all day.
Yeah. No, I'm bright and alert now. I'm bright and alert. Anyway, so what have you been up to this week?
Well, this week, yeah, outside of work, I've been, had a really lovely weekend. Had a nice meal out with one of my buddies and his wife, which was good fun. A bit of time relaxing, and spent the other time there was putting together some information for everybody on some charting packages and just the first initial stages of setting up some videos. So let's just take a look at what I've been up to and let me
Okay.
know what you think.
Yeah, we'll do.
Hi everybody. Okay, so let's get started. So from my side of things, I'm going to be covering the trading perspective right from the very beginning. When we say right from the very beginning, we mean right from the beginning. So as you can see here, I've already got in a couple of searches. So if we just go Forex trading platforms, you'll see that it pulls up a whole list and little links to videos and everybody trying to promote their wares. Now, as Stephen and I have made very clear, we're not here to promote any particular body's wares. We're not currently sponsored by anybody, so we're going to be very much impartial when it comes to things like platforms. We're not going to be giving any sort of like firm recommendations where you need to buy this trade and sell here and only work with these particular currency pairs, but we're just basically going to give you the whole nuts and bolts. So as you can see here, I've been scrolling up and down, there's a whole raft of them. So what I would recommend is that you do your own due diligence on these and basically pick one that meets your requirements and one that you're happy with. Right, okay, so I've actually gone a couple of steps ahead and I've actually downloaded one of the platforms, picked it just in the way that I've outlined, basically gone through, read a bit about the platform, and I thought, right, okay, as a starting person, just on my beginning of my road to learning about currency trading and Forex trading, this is going to be sufficient for me. Okay, let's get started. Hi everybody. Okay, so let's get started. So from my side of things, I'm going to be covering the trading perspective right from the very beginning. When we say right from the very beginning, we mean right from the beginning. So as you can see here, I've already got in a couple of searches. So if we just go Forex trading platforms, you'll see that it pulls up a whole list and little links to videos and everybody trying to promote their wares. Now, as Stephen and I have made very clear, we're not here to promote any particular body's wares. We're not currently sponsored by anybody, so we're going to be very much impartial when it comes to things like platforms. We're not going to be giving any sort of like firm recommendations where you need to buy this trade and sell here and only work with these particular currency pairs, but we're just basically going to give you the whole nuts and bolts. So as you can see here, I've been scrolling up and down, there's a whole raft of them. So what I would recommend is that you do your own due diligence on these and basically pick one that meets your requirements and one that you're happy with. Right, okay, so I've actually gone a couple of steps ahead and I've actually downloaded one of the platforms, picked it just in the way that I've outlined, basically gone through, read a bit about the platform, and I thought, right, okay, as a starting person, just on my beginning of my road to learning about currency trading and Forex trading, this is going to be sufficient for me. Okay, let's get started. Okay, here we go. So we've downloaded our platform, and what we've done, we've opened up the chart, and this is more or less what you'll be greeted with, normally laid out with 4 charts exactly like this. Now, what we need to do now is actually start to personalize this. Now, you will see from the charts that Stephen has, he's working with a black background. I prefer to work with a white background. It's the same with any of these things. We all have our own preferences, likes and dislikes, and the way we prefer to work and have things set up, whether it be computer screens, office chairs, the seat in the car, whatever it might be. So I jumped ahead a little bit there. So if you're on the screen, just right click and you'll see a whole load of different things that we can do. The one that we're interested in at this particular moment is properties. And now you'll see you get up a little thumbnail of the charts and the screen. So let's start changing a few things. So what we have here is we have the scheme is black on green. I'm going to be doing that to start with. Change it to black on white, and then we can start to remove things here. Like we've got this grid on here. I don't like having a grid there, so I'm just going to remove that, and then you start to see the chart changing. Now let's look at what we term as the bull candles. So these are going to be our candles that are predominantly going up. You can see they're in white. I like those to be in green, so I'm just going to select green. And then I like my bearish candles, the candles that are going down, I prefer those to be red. So we got bear candle, and let's change that to red. Perfect. And I think everything else is about right. The only other thing as well is I want to remove, because we're not going to be using this, this volumes, it appears on this particular package it's working away in the background, so I just want to switch that to none, and now I think we can pretty much, everything else is looking good. So if we press OK, now we'll find that the chart has changed. So a little shortcut for you, if we go into charts and we go down to templates, you can see that we've got some templates down here. So let's save a template, and it'll open up this area here. So we're going to call the template, let's call it bulls, short for bulls and kangaroos. It's not letting me do that. And just call it 1 and save. Okay, so when we go to the next chart, we can now have a shortcut in place, because then when we go back to charts, templates, we can come down to that one, and you can see it'll automatically change it. Next one, and I think we can even do it by a right click. Yep, we can. So we go there, BK1, here we are, and another one. Perfect. Right. Okay, guys, that completes my bit of spiel here. And what we're going to be doing next week is we're going to start adding some more intelligence to this chart. We're going to start putting some indicators on there, and we're going to start to build out our charts so that we can get ready for backtesting. Hope you found that useful, and back to Stephen.
Okay, all right. So I see what you're doing.
Mhm.
I've got a couple of questions, Peter.
Yeah, please fire away.
Is that through? Are you using that software package through a broker, that Charlton package?
No. It's just basically as I literally did it as I said it in the video. I just basically went through, picked a particular MT5 platform package. Everything looked to be fine. It looked to have what I was looking for, and I just downloaded it and put it onto my PC.
Okay, yeah, good. And as you say, that's MT5, and so you showed us a couple of ways of personalizing the charts and
Yeah,
the chart
yeah.
setups. And is it the intention then to build on that and sort of expand and show how you can
Absolutely.
personalize it more? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I just felt in the initial stages, I just wanted to try and keep everything as like a manageable chunks. And I just thought those two stages kind of got people set up. And what I'll do in the next episode is I'll start to build out the chart with the indicators that we're going to be using for the strategy that we're going to be backtesting. So that's going to be some cool stuff that we do next week.
All right, sounds good.
And what about yourself, Stephen? What have you been up to?
Okay, so I'm gonna share with you a trade that I was involved in this week, and
Yeah.
on this occasion, it didn't play off in my favor, but I'm gonna talk you through it and then maybe give you a couple of reasons as to where I think I can do things differently.
Okay, let's do it.
Right then, so I was looking at a trade this week on the Aussie CAD, and I'm just going to take you through it for a couple of minutes. So what I was looking at was I'd seen this price action to the upside, trending upwards, and then saw, if we just take it back to about there, and then I'd seen this range band movement on a daily, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm not really going to be interested in anything on my trading time frame, the 240, until we approach either this upper range zone or this lower range zone, and then I'm going to start thinking, okay, I can be on the alert for potential trading opportunities. So I carried on watching, and we got down to this level. We see this candle, and I'm keeping my eye on the 240 at the same time. Okay, so just dropping down there to the 240 now. What I'm thinking is, while that's loading, I'll just show you the kind of notes that I take, where I keep my notes, and just have a little track through. So on the Sunday, I'm sort of looking at what potentially could happen, and then all through the week at the various times. I'm in Australia, so the times look a bit odd, but like every 4 hours, I'm making a couple of notes about what I'm hoping to see, what I'm really seeing, where I think price might go to next, and where the trading opportunity might come in. All right, so price action gets down to this lower daily range zone. I've lost control of the chart there, haven't I? All right, we're in. We're back. All right, so price has broken down into this range, and then it's come down, and I see it around this level and see this rejection, and then we start printing this sort of smaller range, I suppose. So this is now my little area of interest, if we so to speak. When this candle broke out to the upside of this little range, I started to think, okay, there's something that I might be able to take advantage of. And what I was looking for from this point on was a pullback back into the range, and then I'm looking for a higher close or a 3-bar reversal, which are two of my entry signals. And then I'm looking to enter the trade and continue upwards. So when I'm looking for targets, initially I could see if I plotted and I'll just show you, for example, if I plotted a Fibonacci extension on on here. I can see what's going on there. I can use an equal measured move, and some of these things will be familiar to quite a few of you, I'm sure. And lots of different ways of doing it, but so I'm just putting that up from the bottom of this pullback. Okay, bit of confluence up there. Also, if you have a look at what price that is in and around that 0.8950, so you look at that and you think, okay, there's a bit, this price level's got a bit going for it in my mind. Okay, however, look left, structure leaves clues, as a great man once said, or says regularly. And yeah, I can see this support here, I can see this support here and here, and I'm thinking, okay, might be a good target zone, but this looks like the first sign of danger for me, so I've set targets there. I looked at a 1-to-1 ATR for my stop loss. Now, admittedly, that put me about somewhere like this, which in hindsight isn't a great position, slap bang in the middle of that range. My rules say I can have between 1 ATR and 2 ATR. 2 ATR brought me back down to about here. And yeah, so I was shooting for targets up at this blue line along here. So you might think to yourself, there's not a lot going for it in this trade, but the mindset at the time was that, okay, we've broken out of this little range. Potentially I could be in at the start of a new move. I didn't wait for the trend to confirm through a three move confirmation. And well, look what happened. Price action stopped me out on actually now I'm just thinking about it, it was around there, so it was this candle that stopped me out, and prices continued down to that level. So that was what I was involved in this week. I've gone through some post-trade analysis, which is after I've gone through, once I'm in the trade, this is the sheet that I keep all of the notes on. So this is specifically this Aussie CAD trade on the 240, 25th of the 1st. Got all my details in there, and I've got all of the notes, and then I've got some post-trade review notes and actions there. And really just you take yourself out of the live trading situation, I suppose, and you can sort of look back and think to yourself, well, what did I do that I shouldn't really have done? Part of what I think I shouldn't have done is I've been watching the charts for weeks, and I reckon I saw an opportunity, and part of me wanted to take a trade, I think. So there might be a bit of forced justification for entry in there, but I'm looking back and I'm recognising it, and I'm happy to identify that and work with it and continue on. So there you go. What do you think?
Yeah, I've got like yourself, I've got a few questions there. You were saying there about things didn't go to plan, and I was detecting that maybe you didn't quite do what you'd normally do. So I don't know if you can share what happened through that trade.
Yeah, I'd been watching the price action movement for a little while now, since the Christmas break, and it was, as you can see on the chart, the price has been in this range, and I think full disclosure, I think I was getting a bit itchy fingered, trigger fingered, not trigger fingered, but what I mean? I was looking for a trade on reflection.
Yeah.
I was looking for a trade. I mean, as I go through the notes that I made in the post-trade analysis, I can see now, looking backwards, with the benefit of hindsight and not being in the mindset of looking for a trade. On the review, I can see that I probably should have left that one alone. possibly
yeah.
for the
I
laptop.
mean, yeah. I mean, one of the things that that I really like is, and I think it's a really important thing that people need to take on board is the notes that you use. I mean, maybe you can explain to everybody like why do you keep such copious notes on everything?
Well, I suppose because the notes that you make in the moment are they're surrounded in context. You know, they're there in the moment. Your mindset's in the moment. If you just leave all of your note taking to a post trade review, I think your the biases that are at play are not necessarily giving you the best insight into what actually went on. So I
Yeah.
try and keep regular notes as I'm going through, and it has proved insightful. Where I've gone past, even when I've gone past through older trades, and I look at the charts and I'll try and replicate the trade. I'll look at a chart and I think, okay, so I was trying to enter here, and I can look at it, obviously, like, the benefit of hindsight. But then when I look at the notes, I can see I was actually thinking sometimes against what I'm seeing now. And so you have to, I think you have to, otherwise it's not just the taking notes, it's the reviewing of them at some other point in the future, and just setting aside some time to do that. But without the notes, you haven't got any history. You haven't got any history of your own trading and your own mindset and the things that made you do
I
do
think
what you did.
Yeah, I think it is. There's too many people, they just maybe just look at the chart and there's a story to be told behind that. And I think that's where your notes really come in useful. They really sort of help to complete the story, And how often would you sort of review your notes?
So I have a time slot allocated for a weekly trade review, and that's more if I've had a trade in that week. But then also, like, every quarter, I'll review every trade that I've taken in the quarter, and that is like replaying the trade and reading the notes that went along with the trade, and the daily notes of just chart observations that I make on the pairs that I trade. So as well as the actual notes I take when I'm recording the trade, I've got daily notes for each of the 4-hour time slots. So I'll say what I'm seeing in those little 4-hour time slots, and that builds up a bit of a diary log. Yeah.
Super. I mean, I think, Stephen, what people are starting to see, even from, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this whole podcast, was they want to see reality and they want to see good skills, good techniques in play, and just setting yourself good standards from the outset. So, although the trade didn't work out, but that's all part of trading. But I think it's fantastic. So,
yeah, exactly.
Thanks for sharing, buddy.
That's
Thanks
all right.
for sharing.
It's not a perfect process, but it's
No.
it's all about continuously trying to make it better, isn't it? So
yeah. So what are you looking to hopefully share with us next week? Any thoughts or plans on what we can expect to see from you next week?
So I mean, I'll the fallback position is going to be what I've been doing in the week. I've been a little bit ill at the front end of the week, so I'm probably a day behind schedule. But yeah, let's just wait and see, and I'll have something for you next time.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say to everybody as well is that you're going to be kind of trading in the moment. So for you, as we are here, Monday night for me, Tuesday morning for you, what lies ahead in the week? Who knows? We could be sitting here next week and you're saying no trades, or yes, I've had 2 trades, or I've had 1 trade. So it's just really for watch this space, isn't it, really?
Exactly. But I'll be taking a look around the charts anyway, and seeing what's going on. So I'll have something that I want to share.
Brilliant, superb. Okay, buddy. I mean, that probably just about wraps things up for the week, I'd say.
Yeah, sounds good, mate. And yeah, have a good day. Good evening.
Yeah, and you as well. And just to say to everybody, thanks for tuning in. And as ever, we please ask you to like and subscribe, and please join us again next week. And please be that 10% that 100% trades your trading plan. Okay, everybody, see you next week. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.